Hey guys, I'm here today with Lissa of Lissa's Raw Food Romance, and I wanted to do a little bit of an interview with her. She's been down here for just a little bit over a week now, and she's got 3 more days. It's been a whirlwind, I'll tell you. We have done all kind of things. We've been to a really nice farmer's market. We've been to a volcano. We have been to a waterfall yesterday, or no, the day before. And she fixed me some phenomenal food, and we've kind of come up with some little recipes along the way. Well, she's mostly come up with some recipes along the way. So before she got away, I had to get her to do an interview with me. So thanks for joining me, Melissa. It's been a whole lot of fun here in Costa Rica.
Awesome. Yeah, it's beautiful.
By the way, I'm even noticing these are from here, aren't they?
Yeah, my shirt's from here. It says 100% natural, no artificial ingredients, and then I have these little frog earrings I got at the waterfall.
I noticed those, the colors. All right, well, I just want to know a little bit about your story, how you came to the raw vegan thing, and I think you have another story I'll let you tell them.
Yeah, well, I discovered raw about 12 years ago. I was working at a health food store, and there was this older woman who came in, and she told me about the mucusless diet healing system first. That was my first introduction, and I read little bits of it, but it wasn't too, it was really hard to read, and especially since I was a lot younger. I kind of thought it was extreme. In the health industry, we were really taught high protein, high fat, low carb, all of that kind of stuff. So I was really not too sure about it. I felt it was pretty extreme. So I kind of put it away for a little bit. And maybe in about 2004, I discovered David Wolfe. And he had a book called The Sun Food Diet System or something like that. And that book was what I clung to, and it was beautiful, the poetry, the photos. There was Carolyn photography of raw food versus cooked food in there, and I just loved it, and I thought this has to be the way to eat. So I tried it, and I think the longest I ever went raw over the last, I would say 10 years before this chunk of raw, was about 2 months. And I would always fall off. I would always, I would start again, and I would do it for 3 days or 2 weeks or something, and then I would just crave like crazy, and I never felt hungry because I was also calorie restricting. So all of those tries over the last decade have been high fat, calorie restricting, and I could never figure out why I couldn't sustain this raw vegan diet, even though I really, really wanted to, because I felt that it was the way. I just wasn't eating enough fruits and vegetables, and I was overloading on avocados, coconuts. I was eating oils too, because anything raw was okay. So, and I just couldn't sustain it. And then 2 years ago, actually on September 12th will be my 2-year anniversary.
Oh wow, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So 2 years ago, I woke up, and the day before I had 2 energy drinks and a bag of Doritos for breakfast, and I had fried chicken and potato wedges with ranch dip for lunch, snacked on candy throughout the day, and I had some kind of sausage and tomato sauce. And the tomatoes were the token vegetable, because I felt guilty that I didn't have any veggies that day. But I woke up that night around 3 a.m. and I had heart palpitations. I felt like I was having a heart attack, but it was normal for me to wake up at 3 feeling like that. And that morning I got up and I was just like, I have to do something.
So you hadn't planned. You had told me a little part of this. So you hadn't actually planned like you were going to go raw and you just ate a lot of food the last day. You actually made that decision on the spot.
On the spot that day. So I didn't have a last meal, and I didn't have, I'm going to have this one more time before I go raw, or any transition of any kind. I just woke up that day and I was like, I have to change because I feel so crappy. And it wasn't the weight. Of course, I wanted to lose the weight, and I had been trying for the last couple of years to lose weight, low carb and lots of exercise and all of that kind of stuff. And I couldn't sustain it. You just couldn't keep going because you crave and you want, you're tired from exercising and nothing was working. And I felt so old. I felt my joints were sore all the time. My brain wasn't working properly. My vision was getting worse. My digestion, my circulation, my hormones, you name it. It was just all going downhill. And I could tell I could tell that I was setting up for diabetes. That would probably have been my thing that I would have ended up with. But or heart disease. And then there's cancer in my family too. So there was all that kind of stuff. And I got up that morning and I was just like, that's it. I put on Fully Raw Christina, because I had found her years and years and years before, when she was only maybe 1 or 2 years in. I found her a long time ago, and again, back then I thought she was extreme because she was eating all this fruit, and I'm like, isn't fruit bad for you? And I couldn't wrap my head around it.
Right.
But then once I started watching her and then the fat videos, and it took a little bit for my mind to get the low fat thing and understand why it worked so well. And once that happened, I was going through the comments in her videos, and I found links to Earthlings, the movie. Cowspiracy was recommended because it just had come out around that time. And Forks Over Knives. And then I found your channel through that, and I found Tanny Raw. And I basically binged on your videos, Tanny Raw videos, Fully Raw Christina's videos, and like, you know, I saw some OK Raw stuff, and and then later on, like, you know, I found Chris Kendall and like all of the other guys. But I really basically, you guys were the three that I binged on that day. Yeah, with those three movies.
Honored.
Yeah, I watched those 3 videos that day, and from that moment, I was like, this is it. This is it. And I had no justification.
Right.
Because once you, like, I never really had the vegan connection. I never really understood, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you didn't have that soul connection. Like, all of a sudden, it's like you woke up and you're like, I'm vegan. Like, I just can't justify it.
Right.
And no matter what people say, there's like the 3 angles. There's the health aspect, the environmental aspect, and the cruelty aspect. So it's like, but even if the animals were loved and blah, blah, blah and everything, there's still the environmental and health aspects.
Right.
Even if it was okay on the environment, there's still the cruelty and the health aspects. And even if it was healthy, there's still the cruelty and the environmental aspects.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
I like that. That's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what angle you go or what justification you want to use. There's other reasons why it's not good. So I just couldn't do it anymore, and I was like, that's it. And I picked raw because I always believed raw was the best.
Mm-hmm.
And there were only 2 meals, but this was like maybe 2 or 3 months into raw. I did a raw till 4 day to test it out.
Okay.
And I did not feel good eating cooked food. So I haven't had cooked food for a very, 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 very long time. And I don't want to. Like, there's no real desire for it, so I don't bother. And I mean, not going to say I'll never, but I'm going to be raw as long as I can. Like, you know, at any point, if there's a raw meal, that's what I would choose, right? And most of the time, if there is no raw food, I would rather maybe, I don't want to say skip the meal, but like, you know, if I know that in an hour I can eat something or get to the store or whatever, I will wait before I eat something cooked. I'll wait till I can get my raw food. So, but again, you don't want to go all day without eating. So.
Right, exactly.
but you know, I will be raw as long as I can see that I will be. But yeah, that's my story, and
cool.
2 years. It's
now, and you've lost quite a bit of weight too,
yes,
right?
70 pounds I lost.
Wow.
It took about 14 months, and I lost it really slow, and I lost it but I wasn't focusing on it. I was focusing on being healthy because I felt like crap. Like, yeah, at first, like, my acne went away, my joints healed up, and all of that. And then all of a sudden, one day, I'm like, oh, I'm losing weight. So it was really nice that I was actually getting there. But it was slow, and that's what I tell people, too. Like, the weight loss can be very slow. Because your body, weight loss is a side effect of being healthy. If you're healthy, your body will lose weight. You can lose weight unhealthily, right? In different ways. But if you want like sustainable, true, awesome health and the weight loss, then you got to be patient. Right. Yeah, like I would say on average about 1 pound a week. Some weeks were more, and there was a period in those 14 months, it was about 2.5 to 3 months, I didn't lose any weight. And I had about 20 left to lose. Like, I didn't have to lose it, obviously, but where I am now, I was 20 pounds heavier. And it was just like a plateau. And I really didn't do anything. I didn't change anything. I didn't add any extra exercise because I was really only exercising maybe once a week, if that. Some weeks I'd go weeks without working out or going for a walk because my job is actually a photographer. So I'll sit at my computer desk and edit photos all day. And sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't even get outside. Plus, the winter is hard to like go outside and walk around.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah,
so you know, I wasn't really getting a ton of exercise. I was trying, but I really wasn't doing much. And yeah, it was just really slow. Over those 3 months, I really didn't do much, and then all of a sudden, I just started losing weight again. And I think maybe, this is my theory, that my body was just healing something in that time period, and it was focused on that instead of losing the extra weight. That's my theory. I have no idea why there was a plateau, but I did have about a 3-month plateau, and then I lost the last 15-20 pounds, and then maintained this for the last, oh God, it's been even almost seems like it's been a year since I've maintained this weight.
It's easy to maintain on this lifestyle.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah. And then if you feel like you might be moving down a little bit, just add some bananas. You know, have a little extra smoothie here and there. And
folks, it's kind of hard if you're not picturing it. I will edit in somewhere in here her before and after image, because if you haven't seen it, I know a lot of people that watch my channel also watch Melissa, but it's impressive, so I will absolutely edit that in.
Yeah.
And all the food we've had this week.
Yes.
And you've taught me a little bit about this. So tell us a little bit about your process on developing the recipes, because that you kind of chose, that's kind of your niche. I mean, you have other skills, but like developing the recipes and the recipe books are kind of your niche.
Yeah, I love creating food. I think the first recipe that I made that was that started to get really well known was the French dressing, and we had that. It was basically out of necessity. I wanted to make a recipe dressing that wasn't really watery, that was more kind of condensed and had a little more flavor. So I started with dates because most dressings have sugar in them. So I started with dates, and I added spices and garlic, and then I needed a sour, so I used either lemon juice or the raw apple cider vinegar. And I just blended that up, and I remember the salad. I remember sitting at my computer desk and just like literally on the verge of tears, because I was just eating it and I'm like, I can't believe how much I love this. And I was so happy that I found a dressing that I could love. And then I was like, I'm gonna start sharing this, so I have like my French dressing recipe. And then I started playing with the different spices that I included in that, and I came up with other ones. But for a lot of my recipes, what I do is I'll just go to the library and grab a book, like, I don't know, like a recipe book from some culture, or maybe a holiday book or something. And I'll just scan through and I look and see like, oh, I would love to make this raw. So I go through the ingredients and I go by texture, flavor. So if it's got sweet in it, then I default to my sweet things like figs or dates, or like you could even do sweet fruit. Maybe.
Or rambutan.
Rambutan.
We used rambutan in a recipe in a pinch.
Because we didn't have any dates. So you can use fruit because it's sweet. So you need a sweet. So any recipe that has a lot of sweet, I tend to use dates because they're really easy. But then it's like, then you think texture. Like, is it like a spaghetti, or, you know, and I use a lot of zucchini for that. Zucchini and cucumbers. But basically, you just have to kind of play with the textures, the flavors, and really it's the spices. Because when we had those two bowls, we had the chili bowl marinating, and we had the pizza bowl marinating, and you're going back and forth smelling them, and you're like, this one smells like chili, and this one smelled like pizza.
They were they were both very fragrant, so they were strong smells, but they were distinct. You could definitely tell the difference in the two bowls.
Yeah, exactly.
No doubt.
So it really comes down to spices is really big, right? So you got to hit all of those angles: the sweet, the texture, the spicy, and then some are more bitter. You know, you basically have to think, what is it about this specific recipe that sells the recipe, right? And sometimes it's fat, right? Like if you want something creamy, like my spinach cashew dip, like you tend to have to use the fats. So you've got your coconut, your avocado, your cashews, or other nuts and seeds. Like we made the that mock tuna with sunflower seeds. So you do, some recipes do need that, but then I just balance out the fatty parts, like the fatty dressings and stuff like that, by eating all fruit during the day, eating lots of greens, lots of cucumbers, lots of really low fat fruits and veggies, just to balance out. And
even that night that we were trying out that recipe, the mock tuna, we had a big salad, kind of to balance that out, even within that meal. And plus we had pretty heavy fruit the whole day leading up to that.
So it didn't feel too
So it's kind
heavy.
of a balancing act.
If I had, like before, when I used to try raw food and I'd last like 3 days, I would start by having like a banana smoothie, but I would put an avocado in the smoothie to make it creamy. And then I would wonder why at lunch, if I had, say, a little container of strawberries, I would have a sugar crash after.
Right.
And it was the interaction, because I would eat nuts too,
Right.
to keep myself satiated. When I didn't need the nuts, I needed more fruits and vegetables. I needed more freshness. I needed more hydration.
Right.
And here I am trying to fill myself with protein and fats.
Yeah.
When I was missing the nutrients and the hydration and the living like calories from the
Right.
fruits and vegetables. So you live and learn.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I do recipes.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what are you going to be doing when you get back to Canada?
When I get back to Canada in October, there is the Vegan World Summit,
Oh, nice.
which is veganworldsummit.com. And it's basically, there's 24 of us, vegan YouTubers who kind of got together. We're going to be doing live Q&A sessions. So basically you sign up. It's $100, but it's really only $75 with the coupon code, which is Raw Romance.
And that will be in the links below.
Yes.
In the description, in the links, a
Description.
link in the description below. Yeah.
Yes. So you can log in anytime. You can watch any of us doing our Q&A sessions. And after, if you miss that,
Right.
your $75 actually allows you to have unlimited access after.
Oh, cool.
So everything will be archived. You can watch things over and over and over again.
Nice.
But the live Q&A sessions, we each have a topic. We're going to talk for about 15 minutes on the topic, and then we have 45 minutes for Q&A. So if you're logged in, you can type in your questions. You can say them live, and
Right.
we'll answer them right there. So, and again, it's all recorded, so you
Very
can watch
cool.
it after.
And if I remember correctly, you said there's about 20 to 25 presenters.
Yeah, there's
and
24, I think.
each person is going to do 4 talks.
Mhm.
So that's a good bit of
Yeah, I think there's
content right
over
there.
95 hours.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be. So that's exciting. And then I'm also going to be releasing my journey book. Basically,
Oh.
it's going to be diary style. So I have like, not every day. It's about every couple days or once a week or so. I have like a journal entry of what I experienced that day. Some days have food in them. Some days have like a struggle that I had or something I learned, and then information about what I learned.
Right.
And then after that entry, there's a post. I'm actually going to do post 2-year raw
Oh,
now
cool.
because I started it last year, but I'm going to do post 2-year raw with like updated information from what I've learned.
Okay.
So it's going to be information packed, like
Gotcha.
lots of stuff and struggles that I've gone through that a lot of people have gone through, because I'm just a regular girl who's doing raw vegan, right? So I'm going to have a lot of stuff in there for people. And then I'm going to do meal plan part 2.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds exciting.
Hmm.
And then where are you going in general though? This is your immediate plans. Where do you see your channel, your
Oh,
brand,
gosh.
you going in the future?
Whew. Honestly, whatever life brings. I want to be doing retreats
Right.
all over, maybe doing like what we had discussed earlier, like private chef kind of stuff.
Right.
Or I have like lots and lots of book ideas. I want to start painting and selling some paintings of like animals and plants, and some of the proceeds from that will be going towards like animal rescues.
Oh, cool.
There's one really close to my house called Farm,
Mhm.
and they rescue farm animals. So they need like food and everything, medicine for the animals that they rescue from
Cool.
slaughterhouses. So there's places like that I want to donate to, and my art can bring that
Nice.
to them. So that's another thing. Yeah, I want to travel a lot. I want to bring raw food to everybody who wants to listen, right?
Nice.
So that's my future goal.
Well, we're going to finish off. Show them your book here.
Ooh.
Now, this book I'm actually going to buy, and
Yes.
it has 2 purposes to it, or it can be for 2 different types of people. I'm buying this for the recipes in here because the recipes are awesome, and it's one recipe book that I think I'll actually make a good percentage of the recipes. But the added bonus in this one is for people, if you're just starting out on this lifestyle, if you've been struggling or you just need a little structure, this is an actual meal plan. It's a 30-day meal plan. And what I like about it is I'm looking through it for people that are also new to this lifestyle and may not be thinking ahead about all the creation of this food. Each day's meal plan at the bottom, it tells you what you need to prepare for tomorrow. In other words, like if there's something that, like say you're making something with a little bit of cashews in there, you'll soak your nuts overnight, or you'll just basically get things kind of prepared at the end of today for tomorrow, so you don't wake up the next day and you're like looking at a recipe and you have to be like, oh well gosh, I didn't get this done, and then it throws you off.
And then you're like, I'm just gonna go to McDonald's.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I say, this is a really good book here. I'm gonna probably wear it out. I can already see a few recipes. When Lissa leaves, I'm gonna be kind of craving her food, so I will probably be using that as a substitute for all the good food I've been eating. But
yeah.
anyway, thank you so much for joining me, and we're going to get into some more stuff while we're here. We've got a little bit more video work to do, and then we're going to one more market tomorrow. Probably Lissa will probably do. I've already done a video of it. It's the Alajuela market, but I'm sure she's going to go nuts because this is more, the one we went to last week had good organic stuff, and it's a really cool, good vibe, but didn't have as much fruit as this one's going to have, so
the fruit
that's going to
here
be
is
spectacular.
amazing. The fruit here is amazing. I was just thinking the strawberries here, those volcano strawberries, just so good.
So you guys have to come down, right?
Yeah, come down.
And there's a lot to see in this area. I'm telling you, it's not the beach, but even if you're coming to Costa Rica for a trip, you spend 3 to 4 days in this area, and you're definitely gonna have plenty to do.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed getting to know Lissa. She goes by either one.
Yeah.
A lot of you already know her, like I said earlier, because there's a lot of people I can see that comment on my channel, that comment on hers, and comment on Tanny Raw's. But thanks for joining us, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Yes. Fruit
Peace.
on. Fruit on.